presentation of Smith Entertainment Group and the Utah Mammoth.
I cannot wait to get this place buzzing! And he's got the crowd going here tonight.
Listen to Utah on its feet.
You've got to be kidding! And they're on their feet at Delta Center.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Cole, Sergachev, he scores! Mikhail Sergachev!
We heard chants Utah, and that got us going. Thank you, guys.
This group wants to get to the playoffs. The city wants us in the playoffs. We're all hungry to make sure we get there.
Delta Center has been transformed. Yeah, it was a construction zone for about 7 months during the off season, but we are ready to go. So great to be back home for the Utah Mammoth and the Los Angeles Kings. And welcome in everybody with Dominic Moore. I'm Matt McConnell. Sarah Merrifield, Nick Olczyk will join us momentarily. Delta Center, how about it? She's never looked better, Dom.
One of a kind, Matt. Anyone that's set foot in this venue knows how unique it is with the steepness on all sides. It's been enhanced. One of the most intimidating, incredible environments in the NHL just got better.
So the preseason rolls on, a couple of dress rehearsals remain, and this is a big game for a lot of players.
It's a big game for the team in general. You know, coaching staff, they want to dial in those details as they get ready for that all-important opening night, October 9th. And first, from some specific young players, this could be their last chance as an audition to show what they can do. Right at the top of that list is Dmitry Simashev. He has been impressive. He has looked like a veteran in all the games he has played thus far. Another chance for him to make his mark. His compatriot, Daniil But, 2 goals in the preseason. I think they want to see if he can keep up that consistency. And another guy who's been consistent and played a very mature game is Gabe Smith. He's a big guy who knows his role. He'll have another chance to show what he can do. So the auditions continue. Here we go.
All right, up next, the Mammoth Defensive Corps, loaded with experience, including 2 veterans who re-signed in the offseason, Sarah and Nick. With more on that as Hockey Night in Utah skates closer to puck drop.
Ice in their newly renovated home of Delta Center for their preseason game against the LA Kings, and we're going to break it all down for you. Sarah Merrifield and Nick Olczyk joining you. And Nick, we've talked a lot about familiar faces, but 2 D-men who re-signed in the offseason, helping to build on what they started last year.
A lot of focus so far this year on the additions, and rightfully so, but let's give some love to the guys who are going to continue to build on the culture that they established here in Utah last year. One of those is Ian Cole, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Nobody blocked more shots last year in the NHL than he did as he embarks on his 16th season in the National Hockey League. And a waiver wire pickup from the New Jersey Devils back on January 5th, a right-handed puck-moving defenseman, a coveted treasure in this sport, adding to the defensive depth. And on a hockey team, it's about 2 things: accepting and executing your role, as these 2 have done for a long time.
Veteran experience is invaluable with this group, and coming up, the second meeting in 3 days between Utah and LA. Preseason continues here inside Delta Center. Hockey Night in Utah rolls on after break.
Night in Utah is sponsored by Mountain America Credit Union, guiding you forward. Ready to go tonight from Delta Center, the first home preseason game here in Salt Lake City for the Utah Mammoth, taking on the Los Angeles Kings. The starting goaltenders, Vitek Vanacek, Stanley Cup champion last season with the Florida Panthers. He'll assume the backup role most likely. Here's numbers, .294, the goals against average in his career of 5 seasons. At the other end, Anton Forsberg, acquired by the Los Angeles Kings. Similar role to Vanacek last season with Ottawa. 11 wins, his career numbers, a .321 goals against average. What an opportunity for that man, Andrew Agozzino. He's going to be centering the line between J.J. Peterka and Dylan Guenther. A veteran pro out of Ontario. He was in Tucson last year, and we are ready to go. Hockey season, preseason action from Delta Center here in Salt Lake City. And so many storylines today as the Kings will set it in. Our hockey day, Dom, started early with the sale of the jerseys.
Not as early as some. Some were lined up at 4:30 in the morning to be the trendsetters to get those first jerseys.
Cleared out of by the Kings, sent right back in Mikhail Sergachev. A set around veteran lineups here as Sergachev right to the front, glove save by Anton Forsberg. Between the benches tonight, Nick Olczyk.
It is great to be back with you guys, Maddie, Dom, Sarah, and the rest of the crew, and just looking around Delta Center, all of the renovations that have taken place, the steepness that, Dom, you talked about in the pregame show on the end zones, just feels like as a player or when you're at ice level, feels like everybody's on top of you. So if you only got 5 gears to go to with this setup, you're going to find a 6 or a 7 with the energy in this building.
Well, it is absolutely remarkable what they've done in under 7 months here at Delta Center. Dumoulin, and that's scooped up by Vitek Vanacek.
And that Mammoth logo, by the way, looks almost as good as Nick's new suit. But I want to give a special shout out to Ben Barnes. He's the senior brand director who had a huge role in how beautifully those Mammoth logos turned out, and they are uniquely Utah.
Yeah, they are fantastic. All sorts of Easter eggs in the design of the logo as this one goes all the way back down. By the way, I'd like to give a shout out to all the construction workers, the men and women that have pulled off this incredible feat of transforming Delta Center, and it's only phase 1 of 3 phases too.
On my way in, guys, I talked to a couple of them. Some are working 14, 60, 20-hour shifts just to get it done. It's truly remarkable what Ryan and Ashley Smith have been able to do and get everybody on the same page.
Well, Daniil But will bring it out. He's up tonight with Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz, and we'll get a whistle here. And a face-off coming at the LA end.
You know, this building is truly one of a kind. And just to talk a little bit more about that, you know, the steepness, particularly on the end zones, is unbelievable how steep. And Nick, it looked like you and Kim in the pregame were literally hovering above the ice from the porch there, and it's only been enhanced with these renovations. It is a one-of-a-kind venue, Delta Center.
Off the face-off, cleared out of the zone. Back to get it is J.J. Peterka. We already mentioned that line earlier. Andrew Agozzino, he's been a real good pro throughout his career, gets an opportunity with 2 of the biggest offensive cogs. Dylan Guenther tried to drag it to the middle, and it's denied. And Kevin Fiala coming off a terrific season. Kings will bring it back, and this one's sent back down.
You know, we saw that incredible chemistry with Peterka and Guenther in Vegas. We'll see if they can continue to build on that.
Now Peterka will play to the corner, Dylan Guenther. Dylan, first day of training camp, Tom, we were there talking about how he really wants to work on his inside game, getting pucks to the net, getting to the middle. He's certainly done that in the preseason.
You know, you could argue, obviously the season hasn't started, but in terms of preseason, you could make a strong case for him being the most improved player. And just the way that he has started to attack with his feet. You know, we always talk about the shot, and for good reason, but it just seems like he's made a point of emphasis of changing the way he attacks using his legs, which he is a great skater, eh, Nick? Like, we know that he has it, just a matter of using it.
And while you're using your feet, we've seen a couple of goals that he scored, taking the puck right to the rack, going right to the net. So you have the opportunity, and you keep the defenders honest and knowing, okay, he's not just going to come in and rip it. Now you keep the defenders honest as well as the goaltender. If you're going to shoot it off the rush or if you're going to take it wide, try to take it right to the net.
Mikhail Sergachev will get it back to center ice. Carcone brings it in. They played it in behind the net. Gabe Smith trying to win a job here. You know, they started with, what, 66 players in training camp. A couple of players injured did not participate, including Caleb Denoye, their first-round pick.
That puck nearly hit the official on the dump in there, guys. He had to dive out of the way.
That was Justin Kia. And the puck played all the way down. And we get an icing call here against Utah. But they've really cut down on the numbers.
They have. Yeah, this is, you know, you're getting down to the end of camp. This is typically how it goes. And LA Kings, they have an entirely veteran lineup tonight. You know, save for the injuries on the Utah side, we might have seen that. For Utah, it means more opportunity for these young guys to make an impression.
Dmitry Simishev battling with Kempe, and the puck ends up in behind the net. Nate Schmidt trying to bring it along. I should point out the extras tonight, no Ian Cole, no Sean Dursey. They are out of the lineup here tonight. One preseason game after tonight. It'll be Saturday when the San Jose Sharks are here. Stenlund will look to bring it along. He drops it for DeSimone. Fired in behind the Kings net and around the boards. A little reverse for the former Penguin Brian Dumoulin to play it. And out of the zone, chasing after it, is Daniil Boot. Boot's got a couple of preseason goals, had one the other night when these two teams met in Boise. Battle here in the corner. Clayton Keller right in the middle of it. Warren Foegele as well. Kings pretty much down to their opening night roster. With DeSimone and now Schmaltz. They've got a very veteran group as this puck over the glass and out of play.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want at this stage of camp. And, you know, you're the coaching staff on either bench. You want to iron out those details as we get a look at Nick Schmaltz. Nick Schmaltz getting an opportunity to play center here in tonight's game. He hasn't really played center in about 4 years. And head coach Andre Tourigny talked about these games with some of the injuries being a good chance for Schmaltz to get some reps at center, because you just never know, right? Throughout the course of a long season, injuries happen. He has played the position before, so getting him a little more comfort in that role is another benefit of some of these injuries that have happened in camp.
Yeah, and some of those injuries include Logan Cooley and Jack McBain down the middle. Flipped by Agazino, try to set it up for Dylan Gunther. Right back to the front, and a one-timer by Sergachev is steered away. And Mikhail that time just filling the lane, taking the ice, and it ends up in behind the net. Kevin Fiala moves it past Sergachev. Forward battle here, Fiala coming away with it for Los Angeles. Try to set for the middle for Quinton Byfield. And Dylan Gunther will get it back to center ice. Turnover brought right back in. LaFerriere with a shot, and Vanacek tracking it all the way for the Utah Mammoth.
Well, early chance for Utah as they get a surprise pass off an LA Kings stick. It's Warren Foegele, 37 white, throws it right onto the tape of Mikhail Sergachev. And Sergachev just an element of surprise shot that Forsberg, the Kings netminder, gets with the glove.
Yeah, Mikhail was trying to go against the grain to where Forsberg was coming from, but most impressive was the timing. Mikhail didn't arrive too early. All the Kings were mesmerized by the puck. Obviously, they had control, so they were trying to get open, but love that shot selection as well as the timing from Sergachev.
Quinton Byfield shot off the faceoff, blocked en route. Mikey Anderson out high, Vanacek tracking it. And the puck to the sideboards. Fiala will chase it down. Forced out of there by Simishev. Kings keep the zone. No, they're going to say it came out, I believe. And so an offside will bring the faceoff out.
Off the face-off here, you see there was a Kings player that blocked that shot, LaFerriere, and then another shot that squeaks through. You see the way all 4 Utah players collapse in front of their net. That's something that's been a point of emphasis, is trying to clean up those second chance opportunities as they try to hone in details leading to opening day.
And behind the net, taken away, Brandon Tanev, and he can't get it out. Mikey Anderson with a wrist shot. A board battle here. Kings keep it momentarily inside the Utah end of the ice. LaFerriere. And out Fiala, backhander, and that went off Nate Schmidt. And now out with it, Tanev, and he leads it for Carcone. I look for maybe a turnaround season out of Michael. You know, Nick, he was so good a couple of years ago offensively, had a down year, but Carcone can scoot.
Yeah, he's had 20 goals in his career in a season there. Wasn't all that long ago. Arguably the fastest skater on this roster and can fill a lot of different holes. Not many other guys in the league that can keep up with him.
The Kings will play the puck. Dumoulin angled off.
That good angle there from Clayton Keller allows him to go back on offense.
Schmaltz with it, out high, DeSimone. And now Keller. Keller cutting to the front, but he lost the puck and Dumoulin will retrieve. Got upended there by Daniil Booth. Booth played 2 years with Dmitry Simashev in the Continental Hockey League. Turnover, John Marino. He's sent right back in.
Gorgeous back check there from Nick Schmaltz at the end of his shift as well. Just kept those legs churning the whole way.
Taken away, Kraus. And now Stenlund. Back to the middle. Kraus trying to get a backhander away, denied. That was Andrzej Kopitar in the middle of it. Kuzmenko for Kempe. Kempe comes in. He's stopped in time. Vitek Vanacek. Save of the period so far. And Vitek out to challenge against that big line for Los Angeles. No score tonight. Delta Center. Preseason hockey on Hockey Night in Utah.
Team store for the first official jersey drop featuring new Mammoth brand and merchandise available for public purchase. And the team store and Fanatics came prepared with jerseys to spare. We talked to some of the guys who were standing out in front of the store. As early as 4:30 a.m. people were lined up to get their hands on some jerseys. And inside the bowl today, it looks fantastic with not just home rock black, but also some salt white as well.
I love it, and just so great to mingle with the fans.
That's earlier than even Kim wakes up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys are the parents, the babies, right?
I don't think I've ever been up at that time in my life.
That's when you go to bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Get ready, son, as you get older. It'll start to happen. You guys think I'm kidding when I get up at 5:30 to prep. Played back in. And behind the net to the front, Stenlund couldn't get a backhander off. Oh, Kevin Stenlund, it was right on his stick. Dmitry Simashev. And now Kuzmenko back. Good start to the hockey game. No score. Played about 7:45 of this opening period tonight at Delta Center. Season opens for real next week. 3-game road trip for the Utah Mammoth beginning a week from tonight in Denver. Sent in by Nate Schmidt. JJ Peterka. Out high, Schmidt thought about it. He was looking for Simashev, who cut down low. Drew Doughty. And out of the zone as it goes all the way back down, icing here against the Kings.
You know, head coach Andre Tourigny was asked about being winless so far in the preseason. You know, he didn't say he doesn't care. He said he wants to win everything he does, including a simple game of ping pong. But he talked about he's happy with the progress. You know, that's what it's all about in preseason. They want to be ready come October 9th. He even mentioned, guys, that he's been a part of a team where they were undefeated in the preseason. And then they went on to lose 14 straight games once the season starts. So let's not put too much stock in these preseason games. I think the positivity, as Nick, you alluded to, the penalty kill and some other things, the progress is there for sure.
Speaking of new threads,
Yeah.
that is a A-plus jacket from head coach Andre Tourigny.
I was going to say, guys, he's winning tonight with that jacket.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I think that thing's got 7-way stretch, Nick, because this one's playing all the way back in.
I heard it at 8-way.
Byfield's got it. Kings will bring it along. Quinton Byfield. Try to send it to the front. Follow-up Fiala couldn't tee it up. And here come the Mammoth. Keller. It's dumped in Anton Forsberg. By the way, the Kings lost goaltender Phoenix Copley to waivers. As this one will be played back. This is the time of year where every team is trying to get players down to their American Hockey League teams. And a lot of those players require waivers, which means if you put them on waivers, any team can pick them up. Carcone will play it in behind the net. Guys that are on entry-level deals are exempt. Maverick Lamoureux was sent down to Tucson by the Mammoth today. So was the defenseman Scott Perunovich.
Yeah, tough decisions. You know, you got good quality players that are going to be playing in the minor leagues. That is the way it looks when you start to be a team that's on the rise.
We roll under 10 minutes remaining here in the opening period. Yoel Armia. Played across. Hellenius going after it, but ends up on the stick of Dylan Gunther. A big hit there, and covering it is Vitek Vanacek. Well, a collision behind the Mammoth net. Getting a little physical here tonight at Delta Center. No score, Mammoth and the Kings. Welcome back. The countdown to the regular season is sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. 7 days. I mentioned the opening night in Denver, Colorado, a week from tonight. Tom?
We cannot wait to get this party started.
And I, for one, can't wait for the new preseason rules next year.
I mean, it's just the anticipation for opening night is so strong. It's just, let's get there already, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone will welcome a shorter preseason, which will arrive next year.
4 games, and everybody will only be able to play in 2 of them.
Yeah, and camp will be shortened as well. I think it's just a positive development for everyone. And
The Brain Trust, Chris Armstrong on the left, Bill Armstrong in the middle, goalie coach Corey Schwab talking to the GM. Drew Doughty. We'll turn the other way, Dylan Gunther. Speaking of goaltenders, Karel Vejmelka backing up tonight for Vitek Vanacek here at Delta Center. Ole Mata paired with Nick DeSimone, and it's Mata to get the puck down low for Gunther. Dylan Gunther falling down, Drew Doughty all over him. And the veteran D-man will flip it across for Anze Kopitar. Kopitar shoots and a stop. Vitek Vanacek. Final season for Anze Kopitar. Future Hall of Famer, without a doubt. Sergachev, and this one is batted away by Kempe. And we get an icing here against the Kings.
Well, a couple veterans for the Kings lead to that last chance. It started with Drew Doughty all the way down in the Kings zone. He knocked Dylan Gunther off the puck and then made a pass in the neutral zone over to Kopitar for the chance. These are Stanley Cup champion veterans for the Kings. And I hate to say it, but both of those guys beat my New York Rangers teammates and I in 2014 to win one of those cups.
Wow. Going up against those guys, Dom, I mean, the competitiveness, I'm sure, was through the window. What makes them so special?
Well, I mean, when people ask me who's the toughest player I ever played against, it's Anze Kopitar. And listen, it was my job to shut down Sidney Crosby. I just found Kopitar, the size Well, he wouldn't beat you with speed, but the way he reads the game, he's heavy, can play the game any way. Boy, was he a bear to deal with.
From one of the most beautiful spots in the world, southern Slovakia. And puck is played around, or excuse me, Slovenia. As it's played in behind the net, Yamamoto. I'll turn the other way. A couple of summers ago, I had a chance to go to Ljubljana in Slovenia.
Oh, wow.
What's it called, Matty? What's the place?
Ljubljana.
Ah, okay.
Absolutely gorgeous. About 30 miles south of where Andrzej's from. Incredible part of the world. Schmaltz will send one in.
And the first ballot Hall of Famer, too.
Yeah, no doubt. Keller on the steal. And now Clayton Keller will play it down low. Keller, Schmaltz, and Daniil Boot. Nate Schmidt, and that's turned the other way.
Not a lot of room here offensively for either team right now. Kings defending very well, and Utah are doing much of the same.
Turnover here as Boot was looking for Schmaltz. Back out high.
A lot of that has been the up-ice pressure from Utah. We saw it there on that last shift as Clayton Keller, the captain, was able to force a turnover, so not waiting for the Kings to gain speed. They did have that chance last shift, but for the most part, the pressure up the ice for Utah has allowed them to kind of stifle what LA has been able to try to do off the rush most times.
I think a lot of it, Nick, is when Utah loses the puck, they're very quick to apply pressure to gain it back. And I think that's also been a point of emphasis from the coaching staff. They want to play with the puck as much as they can in the game. Possession is the name of the game. So getting it back as soon as you lose it is a key.
And sometimes when you listen to head coach Andre Tourigny talk or the players talk, the hockey speak, the hockey lingo is reload. How quickly can you reload and attack, to your point, Dom, as soon as you lose the puck?
Barriere knocked off the puck by Gabe Smith. It ends up behind the net. Smith will take it away. Good outlet. Back to center. Tanev, he'll chase one in. Partial change here for Utah. In behind the net battle. Carcone right in the middle of it. Fiala takes it away. And now Moverari sends it high off the glass. LA counters with a change. And taken by Gunther as John Marino will bring it out. Doughty chips it back to center. And Marino on the reset. Marino and Sergachev. Brought in. Peterka. Try to flip it along. Denied. Armia for Los Angeles. Hellenius. Stop that time, Vanacek. And here comes Peterka. Gunther to Peterka. And they can't finish it off.
Well, great speed in transition there. Peterka, Gunther, and Agazino execution until the very end.
I thought Dylan Gunther could have ripped that puck. He was in a beautiful spot. It was a heck of a play. Drive the middle, kick it wide. And when Dylan Gunther's got a puck in that spot, you got to let it go.
I like the play by Agazino to set it quickly. Stenlund, meanwhile, will try to move it to Simashev to the front. Crosses there, but he can't get it past goaltender Anton Forsberg. Close calls, and you know what? You want to score goals in the National Hockey League? Go to the front of the net. Beautiful opportunity for the Mammoths. Still no score tonight at Delta Center.
Here tonight is Gabe Smith, and let's keep an eye on what he's been doing in this first period. To me, he's played a mature game throughout camp, defensively responsible. He's always in the right spot, uses his reach to his advantage, and also has some poise. How about this? A little bit of pressure, takes the hit to make the play on the breakout. You know, maybe he doesn't play this game if not for the injuries, but he's taking advantage of the opportunity he's been given, guys.
And though those plays may not go on the score sheet, the one thing you do know is the gentlemen we saw earlier, the likes of Chris Armstrong and Bill Armstrong and his staff, they're looking at those plays because those count just as much of a goal for Andre Tourigny, knowing that you can trust a guy like that when he's put in important situations.
And it's funny, and we talked about it at the top of the broadcast, guys. This game is huge for some players. So, you know, not only for the veterans getting ready, but the young guys like Gabe Smith trying to make another positive impression.
Yeah, to me, Gabe Smith is on that list of when players. You know, we've heard the coaches talk about if players, if they're going to make it, and when players, when they're going to make it. To me, it's only a matter of time for Gabe Smith.
Shot to the front, they score, it's deflected in. Kevin Stenlund, I believe, gets the goal, and it's 1-0 Utah.
Quick counter, speed in transition. We talked about Utah winning pucks back after they lose it. They do exactly that here and then go right away on offense. Watch Kevin Stenlund drive the net. Textbook fundamentals. Stenlund stick on the ice the entire way, and Lawson Krause delivers a beauty.
And when you're going to the net with a player draped all over your backside like Stenlund had, it was Ceci, the LA defenseman. You got to have such a strong bottom hand to be able to receive that puck and to redirect it towards the net, but not too firm. Beautiful job there to redirect it on towards goal. That's give-and-go hockey at its finest.
Well, Stenlund with his first of the preseason, first point as well, comes at 15-12. Out of the zone, Nate Schmidt forced it back to center ice. Schmaltz will pick it up. Daniil Budin got dumped on that play. And Dano, and that's steered away. And we're going to whistle on the offside.
Yeah, Kevin Stenlund, such a valuable piece last year. We talk about the face-offs all the time, how important they are, but let's not forget, he can finish when given the opportunity. He's got a tremendous shot, nose for the net, and that kind of depth scoring is crucial for a team that has playoff aspirations.
So Stenlund from Krause and Yamamoto, even strength goal at 15-12.
I mean, how many goals, guys, last year in big games was it the third and fourth line that got that difference-making goal, right?
Yeah, they played a massive role. Got some key players out right now. You know, that's the other part of it. We talk a lot about J.J. Peterka being acquired from Buffalo, you know, the offensive guy, but I think what they've done, Nick, in the bottom six has been significant.
Yeah, you get a guy like Brandon Tanev, who's been such a great energy player in his career, a penalty killer, a fan favorite, you could say, already here in Utah, just from his headshot alone. You start to build depth through the forward group, then you start to become a competitive team every night.
Agazino, and he's robbed by Anton Forsberg. Oh, Andrew Agazino. Play it all the way back. Agazino's a little bit older, guys, too. You should point that out. He's played a lot of games in the American Hockey League, but he's another guy, a plug-and-play guy that's getting an opportunity here tonight. Sergachev. And now Marino. Good outlet. But some real nice clean breakouts here. Back to the front, a shot over the top 10. And he sent that one just over the crossbar.
It looked like he picked the wrong club, guys. He had the sand wedge out.
Turcotte with a shot, stopped by Vanacek.
It didn't help that that puck was rolling on him too, so at least just to get it somewhat towards the goal as he took a big hit there by Turcotte. He'll have a couple of words for him as both those guys will go back to their bench, and it looks like a very intense stare from number 13 back at 15 in a white jersey.
Simashek. And now Lawson Krause forcing it up the boards. He'll go after it.
That's what they call taking a number.
Yeah, icing here.
Well, a couple chances, guys, at both ends. The first one was a chance for the Kings that fooled Vitek Vanacek, but keep an eye on the right skate. Just there, he got a piece of it, just enough to send it wide. And Agazino had another chance from the slot before the Tanev redirect over the net.
Now the goal scorer, Kevin Stenlund, against Andrzej Kopitar. Mammoth win the faceoff. Simashev. Play it along center behind the net. Kuzmenko and Kopitar out there with Adrian Kempe. Now played away, Kevin Stenlund, and he'll flip it back. Changes on both sides. Simashev. Well, I go back to when he and Daniil But were drafted a few years ago, how excited Bill Armstrong and his entire group were to get Simashev. Daniil But went a little bit later in that first round as well. Both playing tonight. Out of the zone it goes, forced along. Trevor Moore with a shot and a stop. Vitek Vanacek and a penalty coming up here that'll put LA on the power play.
Well, Trevor Moore, 12 white, can really skate, and he broke away there.
Utah number 9, minor penalty for hooking.
That was Clayton Keller and Nick DeSimone that were both trying to track back here. And Trevor Moore, credit to him, he just keeps his feet moving, forces Keller to get the stick in the hands.
What a season a year ago for the captain, Clayton Keller. He'll sit for a couple of minutes on the hooking minor. Penalty kill for Utah has been good here in the preseason. Kraus and Sergachev with Marino out there, and Stenlund, Kempe, and his shot blocked away by Stenlund. And now Kempe will bring it along. Under a minute and a half remaining in the opening period, Stenlund's goal has given Utah a 1-0 lead and a clear here on the PK. So Kempe will set it, he goes up front, Fiala and Kopitar joining him. Byfield. And now Fiala. Brought right back in, Kopitar.
Last minute of play in the period.
5 forwards out there right now for the Kings.
No penalty kill time here, guys, for Dylan Guenther. I don't remember seeing a lot of him on the PK last year.
Final minute of the opening period, and it's presented by About Time. Simashev in the corner, looking to get a clear. Kept back out high by Doughty. Kings working around. Big hit Kuzmenko that time from Nate Schmidt.
That's a heck of a play from Nate Schmidt. And used his feet, knocked the Kings player Kuzmenko off the puck, and gets the clear.
And a couple seconds after, he ran into the boards and was really in some visible distress after he got back up. Took him a couple extra seconds, did Nate Schmidt, after the collision in the boards to the right of Vitek Vanacek, and then to get up and make that play. That's regular season stuff right there.
Now the goal scorer, Kevin Stenlund, on a strong side, wins the draw. Around the corner. I go back to last year. How many clears did Sergachev get off faceoffs on the PK? He's right in the middle of it again. Well, Lawson Crouse trying to kill time. 3 seconds to go in the period, and that will do it. 21 seconds of carryover time on the penalty to Keller as we head to the second period. Keller out of the box, and Kevin Stenlund with his first of the preseason 1-0 Utah.
No, that first period definitely had the feel of a regular season with veterans on the other side for the Kings, and Utah with a promising start. And they'll hope to build on that in the second.
And for my position, guys, between the benches, some snarl as well, mixed with some profanity in that first period. So these boys are ready to go. We'll see if that transpires the rest of the game.
Yeah, a little mid-season form down your way, Nick, as we are through one period here tonight. Kevin Stenlund will be joined by Sarah Merrifield and Brandon Tinnov on the Nashcast. Got a huge intermission coming up. Stick around from Delta Center.
Entering the ice, heading into the second period as they lead the LA Kings 1-0. And as Kevin Sedlin said in that intermission, a very good first period. We saw energy, urgency, and a lot of those details they've been working on all preseason. Speaking of details in the preseason, well, check this out. There's been a lot of exciting things happening here inside Delta Center from the ground-up transformation that began in the offseason. And I want to specifically highlight this very unique riser system that is specific just to Delta Center, because they extended the rink by 12 feet and they raised the ice by 2 in order to create this very interesting and elaborate riser system to not only give sightline and visibility to all Mammoth fans here inside Delta Center for hockey games, but also to give the integrity of a Jazz home game just as much of a special experience. So they did all of this work to make sure Delta Center felt like one of a kind, and as you guys talked about it earlier in this game, so much credit goes to all of the operations people who were in charge of not just putting Delta Center together, but of course Southtown as well, which is the new home for the Utah Mammoth practice facility. So hats off literally to the construction workers who put this together in less than 7 months, because right now it's rocking inside Delta Center, and we are very grateful to have a great home for the Utah Mammoth.
Yeah, we certainly are, Sarah. And just an unbelievable job done by everybody. But Dom, I think Delta Center could become the test case for other buildings to possibly use risers in the future. And you know, it's a Michigan company. They're based in Clare, Michigan, which is about 2.5 hours north of Lansing, Michigan.
What? And you have any ties to that area, Matt?
I've been through Clare. It's a great spot as you look at Clayton Keller in the penalty box. A little more time left on this power play for the Kings, but I think they're setting the standard here at Delta Center, and a lot of people are watching to see how it all works out, and so far it has been absolutely magnificent.
It's truly spectacular. And again, this building.
Doughty with a shot blocked off the shin pad of Marino. Boston Krause out of the penalty box goes Keller. Flips it, Stenlund. You were saying, Don?
Yeah, this building is so unique, and the steepness on all sides. Anyone that's not been here, it's one of a kind. How the fans are literally on top of the ice, and that has only been enhanced with the great work of so many.
Back out high, Dumoulin batted away by Vanacek. Sarah, you have more.
I just wanted to add that just in terms of the numbers, 1,100 new seats in the lower bowl, which makes a total of 12,478 full view capacity inside Delta Center.
And by the way, Matt referencing Michigan and Lansing, Michigan, of course, is just another way to reference his alma mater, Michigan State, which he never fails to find a way to do.
I was never even going to mention that. Clare, Michigan is beautiful. We'll take another look at this last chance, Tom.
Yeah, great little nifty pass on the backhand, and it's Alex Laferriere tries to just go over the glove, but there's the stick of Dmitry Simashev again that sends that puck out of play.
Right place, right time for Simashev, using his reach, 2 hands on his stick in that position, making sure that he's ready to be strong on his stick. Really good defensive play from the young D.
The shot by Vanacek is handled from the point.
And you know, you want to talk about these young players and who has a chance to make the team. To me, Dmitry Simashev has a real shot. And Andre Tourigny was talking about those prospects earlier today. The first one he mentioned was Simashev. And they talked about how he's been so good, so consistent, so mature, winning his one-on-one battles. I think they really like what he's done so far. It would not surprise me to see him on the opening night roster.
Well, Brian Dumoulin has it, veteran for Cody Ceci, and this one high over the top of the net. Played in behind. Andre Tourigny often breaking down camp in phases. Cody Ceci. That's sent wide of Vanacek, and it gets out of the zone past Dumoulin. Phase 1, the beginning, and then you get into phase 2 a couple of games into the preseason. But I think it's safe to say we're in the third and final phase. And you bring up Simashev, he keeps impressing. As Peterka can't play it, Brant Clark now for LA and sent back in, but we'll get a whistle.
The reality is where the team is at now. You know, they're bringing in guys only if they can help the team get to the next level. This isn't a case where maybe in the past the team had guys that were in a developmental mode. There still is development, don't get me wrong, but where the team is at, everyone that's in the lineup come opening night has to help the team here and now. And I think Simashev has been good enough that he's been doing that on a nightly basis.
Sergachev. Now John Marino. Turned the other way and dumped right back in. Kuzmenko, and we're going to get a whistle here. Icing.
We had a chance, Matt, to talk to the Kings head coach, Jim Hiller, in the hallway before the game, and he went out of his way to talk about Simashev and how impressed they have all been in watching the preseason and how that young man has played. So Simashev not only getting the attention of his own team, but teams are across the hallway as well.
Oh, off the draw. Kings with a D-zone win. It'll be played back. Kempe's got it for Los Angeles. Kempe plays it in behind the net. Kuzmenko. Taken away by Stenlund. He's got the lone goal in the hockey game. Now Sergachev clean out for Utah. Brought in. Krause, tip of the shoulder. Cutting to the front. And that is covered up by Anton Forsberg.
And Lawson Krause, to me, Matt, he's just looked so laser focused in this preseason, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been excellent.
This play starts with a good connecting of the dots on the breakout. Another good outlet pass from Yamamoto. And this line, as Nick alluded to, is buzzing.
And some of our fans may be wondering, well, the puck is loose. Why'd the whistle go? Well, as the officials, those in the zebra striped shirts with the orange armbands are instructed that when you lose sight of the puck and you think it's covered, that's when you blow the whistle. And from where the referee was positioned behind the net, didn't get a clearer look there. Unfortunate break for Utah, but nonetheless a heck of a play with speed and driving the net.
Simashev in the middle of it again. Schmidt. And now Gabe Smith. Turnover here. Turcotte the other way for Los Angeles. Sent back in. Simashev is on it. Carcone with it out. And now Drew Doughty. Almost 3 minutes gone. Second period. 1-0 Utah. Stolen away. Nate Schmidt. Turnover. Chance in front. They score. Turcotte has tied it at 1.
Now miscue on the breakout. All the Mammoth players were headed to the far side of the ice, expecting that puck to go there. And when Nate Schmidt tried to send it over to that side right here, it never made it. And you see all those players on the left side of your screen trying to recover back to the right, and it was just too late.
That's a heck of a shot from the Elk Grove, Illinois native Alex Turcotte, on and off the stick before both Carcone and Tanev could try to recover to the middle to get in the lane or get their stick on Turcotte's stick. A heck of a shot, and Vanacek has been really good. He's made some big saves. That one unable to stop, and we're tied here in the second.
Turcotte has 2 in the preseason. Nick, that's from your old stomping ground, your hometown.
Yeah, both of you guys working in references to your...
I like to work in birthplaces every now and again.
You ever play with him?
I did not. But him, his family, very much legends in the Chicago area. Turcotte, last name in the hockey world that synonymous with hockey royalty.
Now getting back to the Mammoth guys, that one of the areas they've wanted to adjust going into this season is just being a little bit more predictable on the breakouts. And you saw in that play, they were trying to do exactly that. You know, everyone seemed like they were on the same page, heading the right direction, and just a little bit of turnover, and LA's there to capitalize.
Keller drops it. Schmaltz for Ole Mata. Shot blocked away. Mata spent time in Los Angeles. earlier in his career, and Mata's back to chase it down.
Really nice subtle interference there by Nick Schmaltz, allowing Olli Mata an extra couple seconds to get to that puck and make the breakout pass.
Schmaltz, and now Keller. Bumped there by Doughty. Picked up by Schmaltz momentarily, taken away. Sergachev will turn with it. And intercepted by Philip Danault. Danault sends it in. Change on for the Kings. Keller will get to the bench. And Utah with possession. To center, Gunther with speed. Brings it in, he shoots, and that just deflects wide. Oh, what another shot deflected in front of goaltender.
Pass there, Matt, from Mikhail Sergachev coming out of the zone. He feathered it right through all the Kings sticks, right onto the stick of Dylan Gunther.
And he was going down at full speed. He didn't even have to break stride. It was just a beautiful play on the exit.
If it was too hard, it would have been off. If it was too soft, it would have been just the perfect amount of touch on that pass from Sergachev. Here's a look, he'll pick the puck up. Watch Dylan Gunther going through the middle of the ice and just feathers it right past the King's stick, right to a striding Dylan Gunther.
That's the one thing. What did Wayne Gretzky say? Pass it to where the player is going, not to where he was. And for Dylan there, did not have to break stride. You continue skating straight ahead. And that's patience from Sergachev to wait for the window to open. And right on the tape.
J.J. Peterka with speed in over the line. Simashev will play it down low. Agazino there. Now Dylan Gunther behind the net. And Gunther upended. Chance Agazino at the doorstep, as was Peterka.
No, we talked about Dylan Gunther attacking more with his legs. He does it again here. Picks up this loose puck and just, instead of hesitating, gets right away, protects it, actually takes his own legs out going around the net. But love to see the instincts using his legs to his advantage.
Let's give some love too to Andrew Agazino, who has fit beautifully on that line. Over 700 games in the American League in his career, over 600 points. He has fit in really well, doing a lot of the dogged, dirty work for that line with Gunther and Peterka.
You got to figure that Andrew Agazino is going to be a very valuable hockey mind someday. You know, working within the game, staying in the game, all that experience, 15 different professional teams that he's played for in his career.
That's a lot of systems over the years, and knows the game very well. Kopitar tied up there with Nate Schmidt.
And hopefully lots more days of his playing career ahead as well.
Good outlet, Tanev. Well, Carcone trying to chase it down against Dumoulin. They brought back, Kempe's got it. A shot by Doughty is handled by Vanacek, it over the glass and out of play. I wondered if something happened to Mikey Anderson. Drew Doughty.
Now, Drew Doughty, one of those players that hoping to play his way into an Olympic roster spot. Clayton Keller would obviously be another one of those players, Olympic hopefuls. There's Mikey Anderson on the bench, you mentioned, Matt, but some added incentives for some players around the league as they have an eye towards February with the Olympic Games in Italy.
Boy, is that going to be something. Sergachev.
Do we want to make another bet like we did for the Four Nations?
Goal, and it sneaks in! And it's 2-1 Utah. Lawson Krause will take it.
Well, this all started off the face-off play and patience from John Marino. They win the draw. Marino just waits. And then lays it off to Sergachev. Another touch pass from Sergachev right there. And then Marino keeps going. And Lawson Krause, who made the pass on the original goal, you just wonder whether The goaltender, Forsberg, was thinking that a pass was coming and was surprised by the shot.
We talk about it all the time. You put the puck on net, good things are going to happen. And Lawson Crouse has had a very influential game so far. Well deserved for a second point of the game.
And behind the net, the puck will be played out. Mountain America Credit Union will donate $50 to the Huntsman Cancer Institute for every goal scored by the Utah Mammoth during the 25-26 season. Marino and Sergachev assisting on that Crouse goal. Out high, Schmidt. Simashev shoots. That was off the block. A rebound in front. They try to poke it home. Boot is there, but he can't get it past. Anton Forsberg. Lawson Crouse. Go-ahead goal. 2-1 Mammoth here in the second at Delta Center.
Lawson Crouse has made an impact here tonight, guys. He's just looked so focused throughout camp, and to me, it's a guy who knows his role. And I think last season was a bit of an adjustment, right? He went from being a 20-goal scorer, maybe getting less ice time than he's been used to, but I think he's really crystallized what his role is going forward, and has come in with such clarity and purpose.
I talked about working on the mental side of the game in the offseason.
Yeah, that's right.
And just, I think he has looked terrific in the preseason.
And that's the evolution that, you know, the players, as the team grows, players have to evolve as well, right? And he, full marks to Lawson Crouse on so far what he's done.
Comes around the boards, Mikey Anderson trying to get it out. Good keep of the line, Simashev, and a great example there. He just stands his ground inside that left point. Makes the breakup play there, and that'll allow, here's taken away, Fiala. And Quentin Byfield in a battle there with Gunther.
It's a heck of a recovery from Gunther after he turned the puck over.
Clark sent in behind the net. Gunther stepping in the way of Brandt Clark. LaFerriere around Fiala. Terrific season a year ago for the Kings, Kevin Fiala. And played out and back to center.
Yeah, another one battle in the corner from Simashev again.
Well, I got to ask you, Dom, we've seen a lot of Simashev in the preseason. Where does this game rank? For Simashev, it's got to be right up there in terms of effectiveness.
Wow, he's been terrific, Matt. And
Dumoulin, and his shot was blocked en route.
A long shift for Simashev here. You see him hunched over. Let's see how he handles this adversity. Keep an eye on Simashev, middle of your screen.
That long shift, and a chance there is handled wide.
Minute and 45 and counting for Simashev on this shift. Most shifts are around 40 seconds, so this is redlining it here, guys.
It's going to be well over 2 minutes by the time he gets off.
Kopitar behind the net at altitude as well. What the floor, the valley floor here, what, 4,600 feet?
This is where you got to use your mind and not your legs.
Smith got it out.
And two young players still out there. And Gabe Smith as well. Protect the middle. This has got to be covered here if you're Vitek Vanacek.
Yeah. Nice play off the skate by Simashev. He'll get to the bench. Vanacek on the cover, as you mentioned.
2 minutes, 26 seconds on that shift, and he's going to need an oxygen tank on the bench.
Normal shift usually, what, 45 seconds maybe?
And you know what? They weathered the storm and did what they needed to do. And to me, the consistency, the decision-making, he's just played a mature game.
Let's give some credit, too, there to Vitek Vanacek. I mean, that's a heck of a play. Realizing that it was a long shift, doing whatever he could to get a whistle.
Stop by Vanacek.
Credit for that save,
there,
too.
Yeah. That was Moverari.
He's looked really good, has Vanacek so far here through half of this hockey game.
His best outing of the preseason. Lawson Crouse bumped by Clark, but he gets it deep, and now we'll get a whistle. And Clark and Crouse having words now. Sergachev as well, as they come together in front of the penalty box.
Well, Vitek Vanacek continues to build on what has been a solid game for him. 10 saves to this point. Made that big-time cover to allow Utah to get a change, get some fresh bodies on the ice, and made that gorgeous save right off the face-off. Always got to be ready. We'll see if he'll be tested here again with a face-off to his right.
Stenlund and Deneau in the face-off circle, won by the Kings. Marino got it out. Clark in hot pursuit. Kings defenseman took a bump there from Yamamoto. Tyler Yamamoto with a point tonight. He assisted on the Stenlund goal back in the opening period. Moverari sends one in. Sergachev.
Nice play there, John Marino.
They've had a lot of clean outs tonight, has Utah.
They talked about some of the additions, you know, new faces, Peterka, some of the youngsters, Simashev, but let's not forget, John Marino, you know, missed so much time at the beginning of last season. So in some ways, he's almost a new face coming in healthy this year. Think about that kind of impact.
Quentin Byfield now for Doughty.
Put Sean Dursey in that category as well.
LaBerriere trying to cut to the front. Stopped there by Vanacek. That was a reaction save, if anything. They're bouncing around in front. And Limata comes in to try to clean it up.
No stick here for Vanacek, and a penalty for a hook.
Yeah, so the Kings will go to the power play. The call made by Gordon Dwyer. 2-1. Mammoth in the lead.
Utah penalty 57, 2 minutes hooking.
And boys, he looked good. And doing it all around here, playing a mature game. You see the way he's protecting the net front, using his stick to deflect pucks away, getting to pucks first on the breakouts, boxing out strong against some big LA King bodies, and what I mentioned before, winning his one-on-one battle. And that is one of the most important things, I think, for the coaches, is how do you do in those one-on-one situations. At the end of the day, right, this game comes down to those one-on-one battles all around the ice, and he seems to come out on top more often than not.
Well, the power play unit out there for the Kings. They'll try to get this game tied. Sergachev, Crouse, Stenlund, and Marino on the penalty kill for Utah. And it's cleared down the ice by Crouse.
Time of the penalty, 10:52. DeSimone, a minor penalty for hooking.
So DeSimone off for the hooking minor at 10:52. Byfield brings it in. Kuzmenko. And now Kopitar out high. Kempe, and they work it around. Adrian Kempe. And now Fiala. Good play there by Marino to slap it along into the corner, but kept by Fiala. Kopitar across. Good stick, Vanacek, and out of play.
Yeah, great anticipation. You called it, Matt, from Vanacek. Had his eye on the Kings player with the puck, but knew there was a passing option behind him. And got his stick out to deflect it out of harm's way.
And usually, rule of thumb for a goaltender, you have those passes that are going to be within the crease. Anything outside of the crease, that's on your defenseman or your low forward to be able to come back and try to intercept those. But if it's coming right through the crease, you got to stick your paddle out, whack it away, which is exactly what Vitek was able to do.
Simachev tried to clear, couldn't do it. Kempe, Byfield, Fiala. They work it around. Kings on the power play. 1:07 to go. In their man advantage, Fiala, one of the 2-point men. Good puck movement by the Kings. Kopitar, Byfield, and now Kopitar again. Across and a shot stop. Penalty coming up here. Another minor against Utah. Delayed call. Comes in front and Vanecek will cover up. So look out here. A 5-on-3 for 46 seconds.
That's going to be another hooking call.
Utah penalty, 88, 2 minutes, hooking.
This time on Nate Schmidt. Anytime you're already down a man, you have to be super careful with where you put your stick. The friendly rule of thumb is just keep your stick on the ice. And as soon as that stick rides up into the hands, the referee's arm goes up, and that was a near chance on the side door, and another test for the Utah Mammoth penalty kill.
Yeah, now that you only got 3 guys, it's going to be a rotating and moving triangle. Can't cover all the areas, but you gotta defend from inside out. Don't get caught outside of that triangle between the 2 circles.
Stenlund on a strong side, but he loses it. And a shot by Fiala, getting it up was Vanecek. Comes back out high. 2 defensemen in the penalty box too, by the way. And now Kuzmenko for Kopitar. Along the goal line, Kempe, and a stop by Vanecek.
Outstanding save.
It looked like it went off his shoulder or his arm. Side of the net now, they work it to the front. Denied Marino, side of the net. They're back out high, Kempe. Kempe slid one to the front. Denied. Marino. He's going to skate it out. John Marino. And he'll drag a little more time off the penalty clock.
Now bend but don't break.
DeSimone is out. It's a 5-on-4 now. And denied and cleared down by Simishev.
Well, the goaltender, the best penalty kill here, but Utah weathering this storm. Minutes still to go.
And the right read there by Nick DeSimone, though he was the 3rd defenseman on the ice, recognized that LA was gaining Utah's zone, so instead of going to the bench, he helped down the D zone.
Slid through the crease, Brant Clark. Crowd really into it right now.
First chance of let's go Utah. Hockey's back at Delta Center, guys.
Man, I miss that. I miss that.
Let's take a look at that beautiful save. We've mentioned it before, how hard it is for a goaltender when the puck goes from below the goal line out to the slot, because you're so deep in your net. But this play, Vanecek does such a good job of getting out off the goal line to take the angle away.
And Kempe was trying to go short side over the blocker side shoulder, and he just kind of shrugged it away. That's the definition of a goalie fighting off a puck. Well, maybe he couldn't get all the way out, but did a really nice job of fighting that one off.
It's funny, guys, you know, practice makes perfect. We know that. Well, the other practice just the other day, I saw goaltending coach Corey Schwab working. He had a little bumper thing that he just laid on the ice. The bumper was right to Vanecek's right, and he would pass it off the bumper and back out to himself and take the shot. So they were literally working on that play that we just saw.
Corey Schwab has done an unreal job with the goaltenders in this organization for several seasons. Clark, Doughty, working around, 2 to go in the Schmidt minor. Doughty's got it. Penalty is overshot, and Vanecek with a stick save. Schmidt will stay out. Penalty kill comes through again. It's been good in the preseason.
It has.
Kevin Stenlund plays it back in. They were middle of the pack last season at 15 overall. Cody Ceci. Turcotte plays it in behind the net. He's got the Kings goal. And denied, and here comes Utah. Boot and Schmaltz. Daniil Boot. 6'6". Schmaltz to Olimata. Keller to the line. DeSimone in the middle. Mata, wrister, and a stop. Anton Forsberg. Boots got it again. Schmaltz to the front. He was looking for the captain, Keller. Couldn't get it to him. 3-on-1 the other way. Maybe a 2-on-2 developing. Fogel's got it. Fogel shoots, and Vanecek again. Vitek Vanecek. Hellenius in behind the net. And Ceci at the right point will get one down low. 4.5 to go, second period. 2-1 Mammoth. Ole Mata back. Schmaltz will get to the bench. Mata recognizes that, so Utah a bit deliberate as they get personnel out on the ice. JJ Peterka will dump one deep. Now Hellenius back to center ice for Fiala. Kings trying to spread the ice here a little bit, taken away by Gunther. And now Simashev. Agazino. Simashev will try to take it away. Good keep momentarily taken by Kopitar.
A good recovery there from Simashev. It was an errant pass from Agazino across the ice, and Simashev recovered well.
Played right back in. Moverari on it for Los Angeles. Kuzmenko. Here comes Brandt Clark. Clark 1-on-2. Simashev, good stick there.
Defending.
Yeah, real
Guys, good. I'm telling you, don't be surprised and you see that guy on the opening night roster.
Well, I don't think he's done anything to hurt his chances here tonight. He's been really good. Marino. Carconi towards the front. Tanev behind the net. Out high, Marino. Wrister to the front, blocked away by Kempe. Cleared out of there. Gabe Smith with a pretty good stick there, too, in behind the play. And Utah and Sergachev will bring it back. All the way down, icing here against Utah.
Well, Simashev's been good, but so is that man, Vitek Vanacek. A point-blank opportunity, just a little subtle move. Fogel tries to get Vanacek to bite like he was going to make the pass. And then there's the play from Simashev. Another one-on-one defensive play. And he looks like a guy that has been around for years, the way he's handling these.
There aren't many guys that are as big as he is that can skate as well. And so to go along with the good stick and the hockey IQ, his legs put him in the right spots more times than not, which allows him to make those great defensive plays. He's been a stalwart back there tonight, and as we have been made very evident, there's a long, bright future ahead for Dimitri.
Warren Foegele, and now Sergachev. Trying to lock it up along the boards. 2.5 remaining in the second. Dumoulin and Moore. Trevor Moore sends it in behind the net. Danault will go to get it. Gabe Smith in the corner, leading with his stick, strips the puck. Marino going in to help out. Sergachev, Gabe Smith, poked in front. Danault kind of sniffing around there.
Yeah, good play from Brandon Tanev. The last safety valve there. That puck squirted free to a dangerous spot.
Right back over the line. Yoel Armia can't advance it. Fiala.
Like the way Utah's defending, though. You see that breakdowns do happen, but so far they've been so good at protecting that next play.
Doughty shoots, and that goes wide. Almost sounded like it went off the blocker of Vitek Vanacek, and the puck is cleared. Mikey Anderson, and he's back with Drew Doughty. Kevin Fiala. Brought to the line, Byfield along the boards. Kraus got it out. That's going to be played by Forsberg. Probably a wise decision because Schmaltz was barreling in. Ole Mata the other way, and an icing call here against Los Angeles.
Icing against the Kings here as Utah has continued to defend well, and again, winless in the preseason, but we talked about how Andre Tourigny has been happy with the progress, and they've been stingier and stingier defensively as the games have gone by. And tonight, easily their best effort yet.
Must be the sport coat.
That is a beautiful jacket.
Last minute of play in the period.
Under a minute to go in the second period. Boots got it. Forced in, but we get a whistle on the offside. Vitek Vanacek, one of the developing stories here tonight. Best action this preseason, 2-1. The Utah Mammoth leading this one at Delta Center. Well, often we've talked about how great the opening first season here in Utah in the NHL was. Some of the team ranks from a year ago, Dom.
Yeah, these are some of the areas where they excelled last year. Obviously, they want to continue to build on some of these areas. And the penalty kill has been so strong in the preseason. I feel like that's one area that really has a chance to become on to join that list.
How about 8th and first period goal differentials too? I mean, that's starting the game well, starting on time. We know one of the struggles for this team last year was finishing games, right? When they had the lead, it's not just keeping the lead and defending, but trying to build on that lead and push the pace and try to turn a 1-goal lead into a 2 or a 3-goal lead. So you love to see the team getting off to good starts, but that'll be an area that I'm going to look to this season is can they close games out in a more effective way, try and get a couple more wins this year.
Well, and those are all the things we look for, right, Tom? Preseason, whatever. Andre Tourigny talks a lot about progression. Chancellor Dumoulin, he sent it wide, but part of that progression is closing out games. You look for a lot of things inside the game. Keep an eye on that as this one goes along.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the coaching staff is focused on the details of their process. They know what leads to results, and they've got clarity, I think, in that department in terms of they know what they need to do to get those results, as the officials here are convening to decide if there was a high stick on this play, a penalty high stick, not playing the puck with a high stick. You saw Brian Dumoulin, the Kings defenseman, it hard to tell, looked like he hit his face on the glass as well. The stick of Daniil But also did come up, so we'll see what the officials decide.
Well, the officials tonight, Gord Dwyer and Justin Kia, Caleb Apperson, Travis
Los Angeles
Garlitz.
penalty, 2 minutes for delay of game.
Oh, wow.
No, that makes a lot more sense, actually, that the call is whether that puck went directly out off the stick of Brandt Clarke or was deflected.
Yeah, so delay of game, that's the call from in behind the net.
And first look at the power play tonight for Utah. There's Brandt Clarke. It's out of midair, right? Clayton Keller's stick was there as well. It just gets batted out of play by 92.
So the power play in and out there. And Sergachev brings it back to center for Schmaltz. And now Keller across Peterka. That time Schmaltz kind of corkscrewed himself into the ice. And that's going to do it for the second period. Plenty of carryover time in that Clark minor when we head to the third period of play. Lawson Crouse, big goal in that second frame, his first of the preseason. And it's 2-1 through 40 in favor of the Mammoth.
A really positive second frame for the Utah Mammoth. And perhaps one of the most important parts of that period, the penalty kill, weathering that long 5-on-3 to preserve a close game here.
Fresh ice for the power play to start the third. We'll see if they can find a way to come through.
Yeah, I like that, Nick. I like the way you're thinking. End of 2, and we've got a big intermission coming up here tonight at Delta Center. Sarah will chat with Lawson Crouse. We'll have an update, too, on 3-on-3 hockey. Everybody along for the ride between the second and third. So the middle frame has given the Utah Mammoth a 2-1 lead. Getting a goal past Anton Forsberg. 2-1 as you look at the numbers through 2 periods of play. And welcome back, everybody, with Dominic Moore. I'm Matt McConnell. We talked a little bit about the veterans there, but we've had our eye on the kids here tonight. Dom, what have you thought so far?
To me, Dmitry Simashev jumps off the page. In terms of the game he's played, he's looked like a veteran out there. Team-wise, I think it's been a really positive game. Most of the chances for LA have come off of turnovers, but other than that, pretty defensively sound. I think Andre Tournier would like to see a little more offense. Still only 12 shots for Utah. But, Matt, we've got third period cookies here, courtesy of our talented director, Paul Hemming, and his wife, Carolyn. And here we are. We're gonna have a couple of those.
All right, let's do it.
For energy for the third period. Nick, we've got one for you for after the game.
Yeah, and I'm not even getting into the cookie war. Stats through 2 tonight, sponsored by Common Spirit Health. And there's those numbers that I was referencing earlier. As Utah on the power play here to begin the third. And it'll be cleared out. Danault right to the net, and it's stopped by Vanacek. Back out high, Sergachev, and he fanned on it. Easy clear there for Trevor Moore.
Yeah, just still a little bit lacking on the execution offensively is Utah.
48 to go in the power play. Dylan Gunther will have to recoil at center for Nate Schmidt. Late in the power play, opportunity here to open this one up a little bit. Kyler Yamamoto, he's had a good night. To the Kings blue line. Yamamoto out high, Schmidt. Chance here, Boot shoots, and it's underneath Forsberg.
Puck nearly squeaked through. We saw the Lawson-Krause goals just trickle through the wickets, and Forsberg felt like it happened to him again. And we've seen 2 goals from Daniil Boot where he's walked into the slot just like that. And he's had a little bit more of a quiet night, but here goes Boot. He's got a tremendous shot and nearly surprises Forsberg for what would have been his 3rd goal of the preseason.
And he had his eyes up the whole way, surveying his teammates, where the opposition was, where the open space was. You got a player that plays with their head up. You're going to take the play that's given. A gorgeous shot that almost went in.
Lawson-Krause brings it along. Penalty is now over, so Clark out of the Kings penalty box. Get a whistle here on the offside. Utah bringing it back in over the LA blue line.
Now, Daniil Boot, I mean, we've talked a lot about Simashev.
Yeah.
But he's been impressive as well. I think for Boot, it's a matter of continuing to build his consistency from game to game. And obviously, we know he's talented offensively, but continuing to evolve his decision-making. And also, when I talk about decision-making, I mean the ability to process the game, think the game quickly. And that's oftentimes the biggest adjustment that young players need to make.
Head coach Andre Tournier, often he's said to us, right, Dom and Nick, it's, yeah, a guy can do it for a week. Can he do it for a couple of months and longer and longer and longer? And that is often, I guess, the rub with younger players.
And oftentimes it's never about the skill set. I mean, his skill set is through the roof. He's obviously got a mature body as well, but this is the fastest league in the world, and upping that level of decision-making is often the biggest challenge.
Moverari will send one in behind the net for Kopitar. Kings look to get something going here. Out high, Moverari. Brant Clark, and stirred away by Vanacek. And he's going to cover up that one, pinballed off Stenlund, right back to his goaltender.
And boy, Vitek Vanacek, if he can continue to play this well, how much confidence that would give the group heading into the season, knowing that they've got 2 reliable goaltenders. Got to figure that Vanacek and Karel Vejmelka will develop such a strong rapport as well, both being from the Czech Republic, or Czechia as they call it now.
Yeah.
Grew up playing with each other and have played on a lot of national teams there in Czechia together, so continuing to build on that partnership. Look out.
Coming in hot. That just missed John Madden. Should point out, too, there was a trade. They traded Connor Ingram to the Edmonton Oilers, and Connor will look to get his career going again in Bakersfield. And I just want to wish Connor all the best. So much fun to have him around, and he went into the player assistant program. He got out. It was great news, and now he has an opportunity to restart his career with the Edmonton Oilers organization. Wish him nothing but the best.
Now all you can hope for is an opportunity, right? And
yeah. Played out high, shot steered away Vanacek. Tyler Yamamoto with it. 2-1 Mammoth. Goals tonight from Kevin Stenlund and Lawson Krause. Brian Dumoulin. Changes on here. Utah will wrap up the preseason on Saturday night here at Delta Center against the San Jose Sharks. And the LA Kings, they'll do another round of the Freeway Series against Anaheim over the weekend as we get a whistle and an icing call.
Well, I know Andre Tourigny has talked about not really being focused on the results in the preseason, and that's true. But no doubt he'd like to see his team close this game out. You know, we saw the way they played such a solid game in Vegas, only to relinquish the lead late and lose in overtime. And I think dialing in those details of how to close a game out is something that I think he'd be happy to see them do here tonight.
Now the face-off to the right of Anton Forsberg. Simishev. And a wrist that goes high off the glass. Gabe Smith, and now Daniil Boot out there with Gabe Smith and Michael Carcone, picked up by Schmidt. Hit the outside of the net, did Schmidt. Boot going after it, so a little bit of a different look here, right, Dom? Is in behind the net.
A little line change here with Carcone, Boot, and Smith out there, and they have a heck of a shift. On their toes, applying pressure in the offensive zone. Started with a one face-off from Smith.
Now, just to go back to Andre Tourigny real quick here. He said he's been happy with the overall understanding of the systems in training camp and what the team is trying to accomplish. There's been turnover in the roster, but not like in the past. And yeah, you know, so you got a lot of the same familiar faces. It almost gives you a little bit of a head start, right, when you come back?
That's true. However,
Danault with a shot knocked away.
There's always different parts to it. Number one, you've got new line combinations, right? So sometimes it's a matter of these, even if you change one player on a line, if it's Brandon Tanev or JJ Peterka, developing some chemistry with those new lines or those new deep pairings is a key part of it.
Maybe tweaks to the system,
Tweaks
right?
to the system is exactly the second part. You know, not any major changes, but subtle changes. Still, everyone's got to read and react together as the group. That's the key.
Here's Peterka, he's in! Peterka with a shot and a stop by Anton Forsberg.
Explosive speed from Peterka.
He can absolutely fly. To the corner. John Marino right in the middle of it. Kevin Stenlund as well, out high. Moverari with a shot. And Sergachev calmly playing the puck around. Utah looking for a clear here. And it's Lawson Krause. Good outlet, Tanev. Tanev is in. Brian Clark takes him off the puck. Krause picks it up. Right back to the middle. Really attacking the middle, trying to anyways tonight, Utah, as this one will be played around by Clark.
Another big hit from Lawson Krause.
And then from Brandon Tanev. Like two heat-seeking missiles, forcing the Kings defensemen to make plays quicker than they want, resulting in the turnover.
Brought back now, Yamamoto offside. Yeah, and Those have been the two changes, Boot and Yamamoto, as we continue on early here in period number 3.
27 goals last year with Buffalo. You can see him there looking at the iPad, probably looking at this chance that we're going to show you, all because of a great read in the defensive zone. LA tries to go D to D. He gets his stick on it, and he keeps his feet moving the whole time as he lets go a quick little backhand shot, trying to beat Forsberg between the wickets. But that's the type of speed and game-breaking ability that JJ Peterka is going to bring this team. He just operates mentally at such an elite level. He'll be a big player for Utah this season.
Well, you look over his last 2 years in Buffalo, 55 goals. Career highs last season, goals and points. Right to the front, and now Byfield with a shot. And he couldn't get it past Vanacek. Vanacek's stick laying in behind the net, but Simashev hands it right back to his goaltender. And now at the other end, Cody Ceci in a board battle there with Clayton Keller. DeSimone comes in. Kings will force it back to center. Fiala's got it. And now Fiala, sharp angle. Sealing that off was Vitek Vanacek. Nick DeSimone for Ole Mata. Rolling puck Forsberg, and we'll get a whistle here. Gabe Smith having words with Sammy Helenius.
Well, here's that chance in front. You're going to see Vanacek throws everything and the kitchen sink, drops his stick here. Desperation, trying to keep that puck out. And there's Dmitry Simashev again. The maturity beyond his years, recognizes he's going to deliver that stick back to his goaltender before he heads off the ice.
That's like when you get Uber Eats and then you get the priority on there to get it delivered quickly.
You a big Uber Eats guy?
The bill is through the roof some months.
Does he strike you as a guy that makes dinner?
Very, very good at using the microwave, guys.
Well, and I know he knows what polystyrene is, as the puck is now moved back to center ice. Turcotte. And taken away by Nick DeSimone. Out of the zone, Carcone. Try to force it along. Smith. Carcone with a backhander towards the front. Tom, one thing I've noticed tonight, that one word comes to the forefront: balance for the Utah team here.
No doubt about it, and that's what you gotta have if you want to sustain the ups and downs of a long season.
Forsberg will knock it away. Puck played out high. Gunther, good keep. Sent it right to the glove of Forsberg, and Mikey Anderson, the Minnesota Duluth product, sends it around. Good keep by Sergachev. And this is some of the game management we've been looking for down the stretch, right? 11:47 to go. I've used the term sticky in the past. I stole it from Rick Tocchet. Now the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. Fogel's got it. I think Utah's been sticky again here tonight. Peterka, Agazino, and Gunther out there right now. Trevor Moore comes the other way. Oh, good angle off by Simashev, but it comes right back to the front. Danault with a chance, but again, Vanacek is there.
And Simashev's stick, it might have saved a goal there, using his reach.
Diagonal dump in by Simashev. Tanev. Now behind the net for Lawson Krause. Into the corner it goes and played back out. Dumoulin for Los Angeles. To Kempe. Turnover. Krause will pick it up. Forced all the way back. No icing here. Forsberg will play. And now right back, Cody Ceci. A little too far for Anze Kopitar. Mikey Anderson has it. And now Lawson Krause. Olimata. And take it away, Quinton Byfield. And now Byfield at center ice. Halfway home, period number 3. LaPerriere. Taken away Schmaltz. And forced all the way back to the line where Mikey Anderson across now for Drew Doughty. Kevin Fiala. Quinton Byfield back out high. Doughty with a shot blocked off the skate of Nick Schmaltz. And John Marino in front of his own net.
There's those "Let's Go Utah" chants.
Momerari gets it out. Simashev takes it away. That one kind of came up and hit Yoel Armia.
Yeah, that was right in front of me here between the benches. Sergachev batted that puck and it went right into the jibs of Armia as he gets some attention.
8:58 to go, period 3, 2-1 Utah against Los Angeles.
Who has played a heck of a game here. We talked about how good Utah has defended when they've had breakdowns. Check out the reach of Simashev here. Might have saved a goal, keeps his feet going, uses his long limbs to deny that play. Credit to the Kings, Brant Clark, for following that play up, and Vanacek bails him out.
Well, Utah wins the draw. Simashev up the boards looking for Peterka. Hellenius gets it back. Right to the front and covered by Vitek Vanacek.
I think that's one thing that head coach Andre Tourigny will be happy with here today. You know, breakdowns, they happen, right? Defensively, in a game like against top caliber competition, you're going to have forced turnovers and things like that, but they've defended well in layers behind that. And that's a positive sign defensively as they build towards opening night.
And opening night will be a week from tonight. We'll be at Ball Arena in downtown Denver. Mammoth open up with a 3-game road trip as this one is over the glass and out of play. By the way, we're working a little short-handed tonight, guys. We don't have our stats man extraordinaire, Russell Brooks, and there's good reason why.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Russ and Jordan. This morning they welcomed into the world Wesley Mason Brooks. 6:48 a.m. in the morning, 7 pounds, 15 ounces. The entire family is doing terrific. And,
I'm glad you worked in the stats on the baby, because Russ is the stats man.
That's right, and I think Russ already has him breaking down the Nashville game on the first road trip.
Congratulations, Russ, and to their family. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was just so happy for Russ and Jordan as this one played right back in front.
The MVP of our broadcasts, no doubt, and the information we get.
Yeah, absolutely. As Doughty will play it across, back to center. Pinot gets it in behind the net, Lawson Krause.
What percentile is 7 pounds, 15 ounces? We need Russ to tell us.
Well, I'm sure he will. It'll be in our stats chain as this one's covered up by Anton Forsberg.
This is, I mean, it's been a positive game in all sorts of ways, but the biggest test, I think, will be how Utah closes it out down the stretch.
What do you look for in that area, Dom, as a player? What you don't? I would imagine you don't change your mindset. You just keep playing the game, right?
Well, you definitely want to stay on your toes. I think the decision making, I think, is what Andre Tourigny is looking for. Managing risk well, and so far they've done that.
This one rolls right to Forsberg, and he'll get a face-off.
And I think the leadership from guys like Lawson Krause here tonight has been excellent. And Nick Schmaltz has quietly had a tremendous camp as well. Been so impressed with how he's looked like he's in great shape. You know, there's been a lot of players who've gone down with injuries this preseason, but Schmaltz looks no worse for wear. He's ready to go.
A lot to play for him going into the last year of his current contract as well. There'll be an UFA, which stands for an unrestricted free agent. It's also a place in Russia.
That's right. Yep. Good one, Nick. Out of the zone, back to center. 7:04 remaining in period 3. Fired in by Dumoulin. Kempe chopping at it. Ceci. They took a run there from Kraus. And now Kuzmenko. Ceci shot on. Stop Vanacek. And a rebound in front. Cleared away. Kraus gets it up the ice.
Great stuff from Vanacek again.
Just enough English on that puck too from Lawson Kraus to get it all the way down 200 feet without it being iced. As Lawson heads back to the bench.
Now the Kings and Jim Hiller, they get that top unit out with Kopitar and Kempe. And Kuzmenko working with that line here tonight. DeSimone. And they got a whistle here. Offside.
Well, if you're handing out the stars of the game, if you had to hand them out right now, Vanacek's got to be the first star. Not one, but 2 saves in short succession. No screen on the first shot, but this is the one where he holds his ground and denies that chance from the Kings captain.
And the reason for the lack of a screen was the tremendous box out at the net front. Not just DeSimone on Kopitar, but you had only Mara at the back post too. So allowing their goaltender to see the puck by getting in the way of the forwards who are trying to take away the vision of Vanacek.
Cleared out this time by Agazino. Nate Schmidt, and across it goes for Dmitry Sinishev. And now Byfield. Clark having a tough go trying to come up with that loose puck. Now Clark will get it down the boards. And taken away by Peterka and out of the zone up the ice. Fiala. Yamamoto all over him, forcing it back. Moverari has to go behind his net. 5:17 to go in regulation. By the way, there will be a shootout no matter what at the end of this game. Schmaltz for Keller. Drops it. Yamamoto trying to go to the front. It's picked off his stick. Sergachev, and he ripped one wide. That was something we were told earlier today. No matter the outcome, there will be a shootout.
5 rounds, I believe, right?
Yes. So we'll have all of that for you. And that's something that both coaches come up with. They decide to go. And we will go to break. 2-1 Utah down the stretch against the Los Angeles Kings here tonight inside Delta Center.
A 1-goal lead thanks to this man, Vitek Vanacek. He has been as sharp as it gets in this game. He's been tested early and often and has risen to the occasion for his team. His confident posture at the top of his crease, protecting the house well, even on those rebound plays as well, Nick.
He's going to play a big role on this team this year. Karel Vejmelka's going to get the bulk of the games, yes. But you need 2 goaltenders if you want to win consistently in the National Hockey League, and this is exactly the start that masked man could have possibly wanted.
No, it was 3 years ago that Vitek Vanacek was the starting goalie for the New Jersey Devils and helped them to a franchise-best regular season.
Probably won 33 games that season. You're talking about 22-23.
Yeah, and just hadn't found quite that same form since then, but Utah hoping that he can regain that here.
And I'm going to pump Corey Schwab, the goalie coach. I'm going to pump his tires a little bit because I've been around him now for, I don't know, 7-8 years. Every single goaltender that he has had has improved.
Yep.
And he has
100%, Matt.
done a really, really good job. And look at what he's done with Karel Vejmelka as well. And the goaltenders in the system.
Yeah.
They've got some depth there now. And
yeah, Karel Vejmelka is a great example. I mean, all he's done is get better and better. And obviously a lot of credit goes to Karel himself, but also Corey Schwab, as you said. He's done an outstanding job.
Mikey Anderson sends it around the boards. Keller's got it. And a shot deflected wide. That one off Brandt Clark's stick. Back to center ice. Chance over the line. Kempe to the front. Kuzmenko. He's robbed. Another shot. And another one. And Vitek Vanecek. Wow. Now Kopitar can't play it and flipped out by J.J. Peterka. Maybe instead of Vitek, we should call him V-Check.
I'm just going to say there's got to be some nickname that will evolve here as he's making a name for himself here in Utah starting tonight.
Fiala circles around, shot on. It's LaFerriere.
The Vanecek show right now. I mean, he has been absolutely stellar. And again, breakdowns. Got to figure at this point, Andre Tourigny is not too pleased with the amount of breakdowns in this third period. That's a point-blank chance, not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. And Vanecek's there for every one of them.
Now the face-off now to the left of Vitek Vanecek, under 3 minutes to go. All the way out of the zone, back to center. Back to get it, Drew Doughty. What a veteran he's been, over 1,200 NHL games. Krause looks to go up the boards, comes in front, Dumoulin side of the net, and Byfield with a shot stopped by Vanecek. Stenlund. Now Stenlund gets it back with a shot and handled by Anton Forsberg.
Well, Vanecek tested again. There's 5 Utah Mammoth players stuck in the corner. And that puck squirted out to the slot. He made another point-blank save. And then it was Kevin Stenlund at the other end, off the failed breakout from the Kings.
And a promotion here in the third period for Kailer Yamamoto onto this top line, along with Nick Schmaltz and Clayton Keller. Almost had a goal there last shift. They've been buzzing here in the third to see if they can get a little bit of insurance for the guys in black.
Little empowerment there too for Kailer Yamamoto, and Andre Tourigny is so good at reading players, reading the game.
Having a feel.
Yeah, he's got a great feel for the game. Keller's got it. Keller shoots, and that over the glass and out of play. Reward, right?
Yeah. It's a meritocracy on this roster. If you earn your spot and you're playing good, you're going to play. And I think a perfect example there of a guy like Kailer getting more opportunity, because I think he has been stellar throughout camp. It's a lot of different roles on a hockey team. But the one thing you got to do is accept your role and then go out and execute on it whenever you're called upon. And that's something that Kailer Yamamoto has done, not just here in Utah, but in Seattle and Edmonton, all the stops he's had in the NHL.
Drew Doughty's got it. Under 2 minutes to go. We'll keep an eye on Anton Forsberg, and there he goes. As we're going to whistle and an icing call, so Forsberg will go back to the crease.
I think what we're seeing here, guys, is Andre Tourigny just final moments of this game electing for maturity, right? Veteran players, guys that have been around, guys that know how to manage these situations maybe a little bit better. Testament to what we talked about before is that he wants to win this game. Yeah. I think it's important to close it out the right way.
Got some Stanley Cups in the experience out there for Utah. Shot just wide. Krause looking for his second of the night. Marino And behind the net. And now Kempe will set it up. Adrian Kempe, and there goes Forsberg. Stolen away by Tanev. Forced up the ice. Forsberg kind of in no man's land. Now will go to the bench.
Just two lines here for Andre right now. It's Keller's line with Schmaltz and Yamamoto, and Stenlund with Krause and Tanev. All veterans alternating here to close this game out.
Love that play there by Stenlund. Wasn't overly confident at trying to hit the open net, otherwise it would have been icing. Just floated out to the neutral and kill some time.
Kuzmenko, and now Kopitar. Fiala, all the stars out. Doughty shoots, and a stop, Vitek Vanacek. How many times have I said his name tonight?
Yeah, he's making a name for himself here in the first game back at Delta Center. He's been tested a lot, probably a lot more than Andre Tourigny would like, but certainly a positive sign in terms of the sharpness of the Utah Mammoth goaltending heading into the season.
Matty, you mentioned the word earlier, sticky.
Yeah.
That's been the chest of Vitek Vanacek in this game. His rebound control, whenever the puck has been hit into that gorgeous and new Mammoth logo, it has just stuck to him, and there has been no second or third rebound look. So continuing the great effort in this game from that guy right there.
32 shots faced, 31 saves tonight for Vitek Vanacek.
Interesting to see here if Dmitry Simashev gets the nod. 50 seconds left. I'm guessing they'll go with Sergachev and Marino, and they will.
Yeah.
And Simashev will go to the bench, but again, Andre Tourigny, I think, wants to close this one out the right way and get the big boys out to do the job. We've seen a lot through camp, throwing guys in the fire to see what they can do, but I think now's the time to collectively see what the group can do to secure a W.
Yeah, and to your point, what, a minute and a half ago, all veterans, right? So they win the draw. Keller.
How about those two plays from Keller and Marino?
So he missed wide. Nick Schmaltz missed a wide open net. Kopitar up on right wing for Fiala. Deflected deep, Kuzmenko. And now Sergachev after it. Stenlund up the boards. Kopitar intercepts it. To the line, Doughty, and now Kempe. Doughty's got it again. Forced out by Marino, and it's going to go all the way down for the icing call with 12.7 remaining.
Well, and veterans are veterans for a reason. They make these subtle plays that are underappreciated. Watch these two plays to relieve the pressure. First from Keller, makes a backhand pass to the slot, and then a second play in tight quarters from John Marino to set up the Schmaltz chance.
Stenlund off the draw, sent it in behind the net. Sergachev trying to bring it along. 8 to go in the period. Now Keller chasing it all the way back. Byfield, one final look and a stop. And that is it, I believe. Horn sounds. We may get about a half a second put up on the clock. We'll have to wait and see here.
You know, it's a late slash after Vanacek made the save. Keep an eye to the left of Vitek Vanacek after he makes the save. There's the slash from Fiala and a jab from Doughty that the Mammoth players take exception to. What a save again on a redirect, and there's the extra jab after the whistle and the buzzer had gone. So
yep.
Now remember, this is not over. We will get the shootout. Players congratulating for the initial win. So chalk up the first W of the preseason for Andre Tourigny and his group.
Yeah.
But the Vitek Vanacek show will go on here in the shootout.
So Utah gets credited for the 2-1 win. We'll have a shootout for fun. Agreed to by both teams here tonight. And Dom, you mentioned what, 5 shooters, right?
5 shooters aside, and Very fitting, since the goaltender has been the first star for Utah Mammoth, that we will get a showcase of that in the shootout. Also be interesting to see who Utah picks for their shooters. Remember, we talked a lot last year about how Dylan Guenther hasn't really been used a whole lot. Only one opportunity last year. I think we all expect that he would get a chance here in the preseason.
Yeah, so Andre Tourigny sorting it all out. Normally, when we get into the season, shootouts are 3-on-3. So Vitek Vanacek ready to go, as is Anton Forsberg. And
first shooter for Utah looks like will be Kevin Stenlund.
All right, so this is just a fun shootout, and Stenlund will bring it in. Kevin Stenlund, and he scores.
Now you see him weaving in here. That's to try to confuse the goalie in terms of alignment in his net. Great job from Stenlund.
So Adrian Kempe, the first shooter for the Los Angeles Kings, with speed. He's in, and it's poked away by Vanacek.
Yeah, good patience there from Vanacek. Backed himself in, waited. Kempe tried to get him to bite, and he just waited it out.
Second shooter for Utah, J.J. Peterka. Came over from Buffalo in the offseason. Here he comes. And he's stopped by Anton Forsberg.
Well, the path that JJ takes out wide to the left, and then he's going to cut to the middle. He is trying to pull Forsberg off that post, but credit to the goaltender. He's able to hold that post and make a blocker save.
Andrei Kuzmenko to the next shooter for the Kings. Now Kuzmenko right to the front, and he sent it wide.
Well, as a shooter, you're trying to make the goalie make the first move, and Vitek Vanacek, like a statue, really doesn't. The puck starts rolling on Kuzmenko, and then when he goes to shoot it, it's on edge.
Now Nick Schmaltz is over the boards, and he'll pick up the puck, and here he comes, third shooter tonight for the Utah Mammoth. Going wide. Well, Nick Schmaltz, and he's stopped by Anton Forsberg.
Now Schmaltz almost skated himself out of the rink here. All the way to the sideboards, and you'll just see he just rolls this puck off when he tries to go to the backhand. Just misses it.
Quentin Byfield, next shooter, third shooter for the LA Kings. And 55 will skate it in. And he's stopped by Vanacek.
Now the key there was Vanacek matching the speed. Byfield sped up and then slowed down. And Vanacek uses his feet to stay at the right angle to make the save.
Now it's captain time, Clayton Keller. And number 9 is in, going wide on Anton Forsberg. And that hit the pipe, the crossbar.
Yeah, and this time Clayton elects to go wide right, almost touches the boards, cuts back to the middle, and a similar story, trying to get the goaltender pulled to the right, and that goes off the bar. A close call there on the backhand from Clayton Keller.
Yoel Armia's turn for LA. Coming in, and he's stopped by Vitek Vanacek.
Oh. Vitek has been a brick wall in this game. No different here in the shootout. Just a quick shot, meat and potatoes type of move from Armia, and a big-time save from Vitek Vanacek.
Dylan Guenther, guys.
Yeah, here he goes. Dylan Guenther comes in, and he's stopped by Anton Forsberg.
Yeah, Dylan Guenther just trying to disguise that release. Watch the blade of his stick. Tries to lift it like he's going to shoot high and then slide it low.
So the fifth shooter for Los Angeles, Kevin Fiala, and he'll bring it in. And he scores. So the first shooter, Stenlin, he scored. Last shooter, Fiala, scores, and we're going to keep going on.
That was the changeup, guys. Watch Fiala, not a lot on that shot relative to how hard he can shoot it. He just kind of floated that one into the top corner.
Mikhail Sergachev coming off a tremendous season. He gets a turn in the shootout. And he is in, and he can't get it past Anton Forsberg.
Heck of a move towards the backhand, but Anton Forsberg not going to bite, trying to get him to slide all the way left like a backhand fake, but able to push strongly into the ice on that left skate, and the inside edge did Forsberg.
Alex Turcotte in the bottom of the sixth. Here he comes. Turcotte is in. He's stopped by Vanacek.
Yeah, Turcotte trying to go 5-hole by opening up the garage door. But a real good save as Vanacek kept that stick right between his legs and was able to parry it out.
Well, I mentioned the night of Kyler Yamamoto. Top of the seventh, Yamamoto comes in, and he's stopped by Forsberg.
Yeah, Kyler Yamamoto, he's got a really deceptive shot. Just tries to fool Forsberg here with the release. Similar to Gunther, kind of looked up to the right and then tried to fire it to the left.
Warren Foegele, one-time Carolina Hurricane. And he'll pick it up. Foegele brings it in, and he scores! And that should do it. So the LA Kings win it on the Foegele shot.
Foegele, similar shot to the other one that beat Vanacek. Just Vanacek a little too deep in his net there, but an incredible performance from Vitek Vanacek tonight. A clear first star of the game as he secures the win, the first win of the preseason and the first game of the preseason here at the new and improved Delta Center.
Boy, what a night and what a day. You know, early on, the jerseys go on sale. We were here for that. The fans lined up beginning at 4:30. And the Utah Mammoth later on with a 2-1 win over the Los Angeles Kings. Terrific night, as you mentioned. Vitek Vanacek, another step forward for Dmitry Simashev. And it's just good to get that first win for the Utah Mammoth. Kevin Stenlin had a goal tonight. Lawson Krause had a goal and an assist. And they got to be feeling pretty good about taking down the LA Kings. Both rosters loaded with veterans as we move towards the finale of the preseason. Let's go down to ice level for tonight's 3 stars of the game.
Now for tonight's 3 stars of the game, tonight's 3rd star from Utah with a goal, number 82, Kevin Stedland. Tonight's 2nd star from Utah with the game-winning goal, number 67, Lawson Krause.
Now, Lawson Krause, tremendous leadership all night in a laser-focused game from him.
And tonight's 1st star from your Utah Mammoth, number 41, Vitek Vanacek.
Vitek Vanacek will sit down with Sarah.
And now let's send it down to the Utah bench with Sarah Merrifield. Sarah.
Well, Vitek, welcome to Utah. That was a heck of a performance. What was it like playing inside of Delta Center in front of these fans wearing that jersey?
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, it was a really good game by guys, and then great win, but the fans was amazing, and then I hope it's gonna be louder in the first open season game.
Balance was a word that was used to describe this game tonight. What can you say about the effort that your team put out there in front of net?
Yeah, they play a great job. You know, they block the shots and then clean the puck far as possible from me. You know, so it was a great job by them.
As far as details of this game go, as the progression of preseason has happened, what have you seen in terms of the details that you guys are getting closer to the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting better every day, you know, first win, so we are happy. Probably like first time together, you know, like a NHL team, so I hope it's gonna get just up and then we're gonna win absolutely more games.
Enjoy this win. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Guys?
All right, thanks a lot, Sarah Vitek, Vanecek. What a night. And Kim, we are excited for what's coming up on tonight's postgame show.
Forecheck, backcheck, Nick Olczyk, Vitek, Vanecek. I think that is exactly what they needed here tonight to get to the 2-1 win over the LA Kings. And maybe the home crowd inside at Delta Center had something to do with that as well. Stick around. We've got your post-game coverage here at Hockey Night in Utah as we break down the first home preseason game and look ahead to the final preseason game before the regular season is finally here next Thursday. Stick around. You won't want to miss what we've got. We'll be right back.